Another powerful session for international optometrists seeking UK qualification here in the United Kingdom. Pardon me for that tautology, but I want to welcome you to the live session this evening. As you come online, go ahead and share the stream. Yes, on all your platforms. Even if you just click the share, that would be amazing. Give us a thumbs up, and then you can start right away asking your questions. Whether your questions are from the application, before the application, about finances and all. I had a question on LinkedIn about how much the whole process takes. Anywhere you have your question, go ahead and ask. Okay, so if you are an international optometrist dreaming to practice in the United Kingdom, I'm saying stop right there. I'm saying stop the scroll. Don't be distracted. Because you need to hear what you need to be doing in order to build a good foundation for your UK qualification. Actually, I'm not using my mic. Excuse me. I'm going to put on my mic. But if you can hear me all the same, let me know that you can hear me. But I will put in my mic. And I think I need to change. Just bear with me. Let me change that so that we get to hear what I'm saying. Yes. If you can hear me, you just say, yes, I can hear you loud and clear. I need to make sure. No, this one. Okay, good. You should be hearing me. I'm just going to check that right now. And then we get into the dealings of the evening. Remember that once you come online, I like to know where you are in the process. Are you still thinking about it? Maybe you're gathering documents, doing QC, IELTS. Have you picked up your application form? Is it all filled in? Or, where are you in the process? It'll be nice to know. Okay, let me just make sure. Who's this? Okay. 1 second. I need to make sure that we're live. Are we live on YouTube? Yes, we are. Awesome. Let me just make sure. Can you hear me? How do I check that? Let me just make sure. Good. Who's this? Awesome. Right. So let's get into it. Go ahead and share. And as you do that, I say thumbs up for you. Awesome. Right. Now, before you submit your GOC application, before you spend thousands on the wrong steps, I want you to watch, flow with me today, because what I'm about to share with you will save you months of delays and even help you avoid massive adaptations or closure in your GOC interview. Okay, so I am Dr. Adeze Cosmos. For those of you that don't know me, I am the CEO, founder, ACN Academy, lead mentor, and I was the first Nigerian to pass this whole process in the first attempt. And this happened since 2015. And since then, I have been helping other international optometrists to do same. And I hope that what you learn in the session this evening is going to help you, because it's so important. Now, it's all quite exciting that you're coming into the UK, or that you're in the UK and you've checked the qualification criteria, and then you find that actually you are eligible, and all you need to do, fill an application form, do an interview, right? Go and do the pre-registration year. And so a lot of people with that excitement, they're all like, all right, I need to go. I need to fill this application form. Once my application form goes in and I begin to get to a certain level, then I know that I've started. Then I'll start my reading, take some time off work, maybe 1 or 2 weeks, and then I'll be good to go. So, but that is a very big mistake. Most people rush to fill in the form without understanding key things. Number one, you need to know is that you need to understand the process and the purpose of every step. And the step we're talking about today is the interview. I want to welcome all of you that are here right now, whether you're live on the replay. Thank you for clocking in. Hope you get some value out of the session. Go ahead and share on all your platforms. And I'd like you to put in the comments for me, #live, #replay. And remember, if you have any question at all, you're stuck somewhere in any part of the process, go ahead and ask your questions. And when I finish this teaching, I would answer it for you. Okay? So you don't submit. So many people rush to fill out the application form, copy what others are doing, ask some random optoms some questions, fill it in without understanding the purpose of it. Most people without understanding what is in the form. The form is not admin, it's your first assessment of competence. And the competence the form showcases is your whole competence, the whole competence for what you need to know as an international optometrist coming into the UK first time. Assessors use the application to draft and shape the questions. They are already judge ready. Sometimes they have already written. Let me say something. When you submit your form, the assessors will mark the form. Whenever I'm doing an interview in the academy, I would usually, and the other mentors I work with as well, we would usually mark the application form. So we're looking for how the clinical competence is showcased across the form. We're using a little bit of a red pen, any color pen. I like to use red. And then I'm just, putting 3 question marks here. I'm doing, putting a circle around something there. I'm putting a good tick here. That is how your application form is marked before even you get into the interview. And for some, as they are marking, they're putting question marks. Some they've put a big X and already put adaptation. So it doesn't matter what you do in the interview, the adaptation for that particular one is waiting. And if you have colleagues that have ever gotten adaptation and they are open with you, they would actually say, these are discussions that I have, regularly. They say, well, I've gotten my result from the interview, but I am confused. I can see that I got an adaptation in contact lenses, in binocular vision, in pediatrics, but they didn't really ask me questions in those areas. And the little I remember, I was able to answer. Now you understand what I'm talking about. It is what is filled in the application form. So I would actually say your documentation application is a 50-50. When you get into the interview hall, that is the second 50%. So you want to take it, seriously because this is your first assessment. And I would actually say, thinking about the way it was in our time, where we used to have to write out each individual case and showcase how we saw the patient and the flow, and every single thing had to be written in each case that we submitted. It is sort of similar still in the application form you've got there. You need to really fill every individual case and fill in the fillers across the form so that you are able to give yourself a good foundation for coming out with the desired outcome, which is proceed to pre-reg. It could be with trailing competencies. Honestly, I don't bother about proceed to pre-reg with trailing competencies. That's absolutely fine. Doesn't really matter. As far as I'm concerned. Why? Because it's not going to cost you extra time. It's not going to cost you any extra money. There you go. Right. So there is a cost to getting it wrong. Okay. Sometimes there are delayed interviews, which I don't really worry about much about that. But if you are on a tight schedule, maybe a post study visa, 3 to 6 months can be a long time because it may take that person then outside their visa time, isn't it? Whereas if you get it right first time, there's no delays. You get an interview, do well, you get your previous job, and you move on. So there's no visa time wasted. Another thing that it costs the candidate to get the application form wrong is extra financial costs. Extra financial cost in maybe if the visa is elapsed, then obviously that person would have to pack up from the UK or whatever and go back to their country. Extra financial costs in adaptation courses that could be avoided. Extra financial cost and loss when it leads to a closure. And then all the money that's been spent so far is all waste. And for some others, it can actually cost loss of clinical competence. It can begin to cost anxiety, depression. Person can't really function in the society because it is heart crushing, it is nerve wracking. There's a lot of anxiety and all that with all these things that spring up when you don't get this one thing right. All right. Preparation, we know now, starts from the form. Your evidence must align with the 8 competencies, which we know what they are: professional conduct, communication, methods of ocular examination, optical appliances. Just keep dropping your questions in the comments below and I'll answer in a minute. Thank you so much, all of you that are here right now. Contact lenses, binocular vision, as assessment of binocular vision and ocular disease management. The GOC is not looking for how many conditions you know, and if when you look at the form, you will know that there's nothing there for you to add more. They are assessing whether you can practice safely in the UK, and they are assessing whether you've got a good clinical spread across all competencies. Okay. So your form must speak evidence. Your form must be cross-linking. Okay. So let's look at this in a very aligned way. 4 simple steps. Before you begin your journey, you really want to have clarity around everything. Clarity around your finances, clarity around the steps, clarity around what the GOC actually wants from you in the various different steps. Okay. And when it comes particularly to your alignment, sorry, to your application form, you need to make sure that your application form is in alignment. Fill a form that demonstrates your competence. Fill a form that gives you a very good starting point to build upon when you get into the interview hall. Fill that form so that it gives you the pillars that you need to go in and come out with proceed to pre-reg. Now, I understand that it may be a bit daunting. Some people get really confused about what to do and what not to do. And I do understand because I was in your shoes. When I moved to the UK, I had no clue of how to navigate the process. But today I have helped hundreds of, and I continue to help optometrists qualify, and mostly on their first attempt. And that's because we focus on strategy with a clear understanding of what the GOC needs and not guesswork. Okay. So if you are serious about qualifying and practicing in the UK, the smartest way you think you can do is to talk to someone before you submit your application. On our website, we do have a full course on how you can fill the form and it becomes aligned for yourself. We're also offering a free UK qualification clarity call where we will look at where you are now, what's missing, and give you steps on how you can make sure you don't waste months or money on unavoidable mistakes. And so the link is right there in the comments below. You want to click on that link, and um, you want to click on the link and go ahead and, come in for that. What do I call it now? Clarity call, the expert clarity call, and let's get you sorted. I want to say thank you so much for all of you that have come out today. Does anyone have any questions before we go? I want to see if I can get this. Any questions before we go? Any questions for me today? The link is right there on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see the link. For those of you on Facebook and LinkedIn, not so. Right. I want to say a big thank you. I need to hop off right now because I've got a class in the academy. But if you have any questions, whether you're watching live, you're watching on the replay, you can still put your questions below this post and I will be there and answering your questions. But I hope you've got clarity on what you need to be doing in order to submit a clinically aligned GOC application. It's always a pleasure to meet you here. Remember, on Tuesday lunchtime, we are live on TikTok. On Tuesday on LinkedIn, our newsletter goes out as well. And on Tuesday, 7:30, which is always sleeps into 8. So maybe we'll say 8. Between 7:38, we are live on YouTube and LinkedIn. I want to say thank you so much. It's always a pleasure. Wishing all of you, some of you, I know your interviews are coming up, wishing you all success. And for those of you that are navigating the process, go ahead, book that expert clarity call, and let's get you sorted and ensure that you have a good foundation for success. Thank you so much. That's all from me today, and I'll see you next Tuesday.